here, and it's time for your full moon blessing for the month of October. The full moon is in Aries, and the intention for this offering is to in no way predict your future or anything like that, but just to offer some kindness and sweetness moving into the next cycle. The full moon is a time to reflect on things you'd like to let go of, that you'd like to release. Acknowledging where you might have blocks, what you're full of, and you're ready to share, to give away, to let go in any way that you kind of want to think about it. And being in Aries, Aries is a sign that represents childlike freedom, leadership, kind of just moving forward. It can also be a sign that can be a little bit angry, agitated, or quick to frustration. So we want to acknowledge the areas that we might be feeling frustrated and see what we can do to release and let go of that. But also acknowledging the areas in your life that could use a little bit more childlike freedom, some more liberation, and seeing what blocks are there so you can let those go. Alright, so before we move into the blessing, let's just sit nice and tall and connect with Reiki. Bring your hands together in front of your heart space. Call this the Gasho position or prayer. Close your eyes. I'm just taking a few deep breaths. As you breathe in, imagine universal life force energy entering through the crown of your head and moving into your body. And as you breathe out, you can breathe that out onto your fingertips into the room. Good. As you breathe in, welcoming in positive, high vibrational energy from all corners of the universe. As you breathe out, letting it pass through you, breathing it into the room, onto your fingertips. As you breathe in, welcoming in inspiration, sweetness, kindness, messages, breakthroughs, anything that it is that you need, welcoming it in. And then as you breathe out, letting it pass through you, releasing it onto your fingertips into the room. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and just allow yourself to receive and touch base with yourself, acknowledging how you're feeling in this moment, how your body feels, where you're at on an emotional level, the quality of your thoughts, how you are experiencing yourself spiritually, mentally. And just see if you can tap into a little bit of love and acceptance for where you are in this moment. Without judgment, just acknowledging. Alright. So let's see what comes up. I was doing these more consistently this time last year. Then I took a little bit of a hiatus to focus on other things. So from the tarot, our focus for the full moon in Aries, as we shift out of it, is the star, which to me represents healing. It's the time after the tower. So, the tower represents when shit hits the fan in life, when you've reached a point where there's nowhere else to go other than, jump out the window, or the foundations of everything you're building are no longer, they're proving faulty, and you, rather than trying to fix it, you just have to move on to a new foundation altogether. So the tower here can be really, really difficult. A tower time can be really difficult, where we have to really kind of reevaluate every single aspect of our life. Everything we know about ourselves kind of changes and shifts. It's often an ego death or a revolution. We've been experiencing a tower year as a collective with COVID-19 and everything that's been going on. So it makes a lot of sense that now we're shifting into this time of healing, and rather than trying to go back to what was, trying to turn back the time and find the normalcy, we are actually realizing that we've all changed. Something in us has shifted. We are not the same people we were back in January, right? We're different now. There's something inside of us that has shifted. And rather than pretending and trying to go back in time, acknowledging that something new is being born, the healed version of ourselves is not necessarily the version that we used to be, but it is someone who has incorporated and embodied the lessons that they've learned so far. So I think really, really calling in the energy of the star in the weeks moving forward. So the full moon happened last night. That's when the moon was completely full, and then we watch the moon get smaller over the next few weeks. So as we're doing this, maybe there's some parts of our former self that are still lingering on in there that we haven't fully kind of looked at. How we can integrate that part of us with this new version of ourselves. So really looking into that integration and allowing yourself to heal around it and be better than ever because of it. So anything that you need to let go of in the next few weeks that are keeping you back from integrating our new reality. This doesn't need to be a negative, sad thing. I think it can be quite wonderful, actually. I know so many people who are reevaluating their choices in career, their relationships, becoming much more physically active, the perfection of your life. This is from the Sacred Rebels deck. You can see the earth with this flower of life and then the trees growing on top. Something that's really cool about most forests and trees, or trees in general, is that they have that interconnectedness underneath the surface where all the roots are cuddling and working together, almost like this hidden interweb that they have to communicate with each other. So what is interesting is, we see what's on the surface, but we don't necessarily see how connected everything is under the surface. And the truth is, that's how life is in general. We see what is physically manifested around us, but we don't always see the little subtleties that are behind the scenes, the emotional experiences we have when we're in the presence of other people, the little subtle hints and observations that make us feel and perceive our reality differently than the person next to us. So there's something to be said about that, obviously, and you can reflect and meditate on it on your own. But I do find a call to really sit with how this moment, how life in this moment, how reality in this moment is somehow perfect for whatever it is that you're integrating at this time. If you are someone who's feeling held back by the circumstances, it might be super helpful for you to play with the idea as if you're playing a game. And the game is seeing everything that is laid out in front of you as if it is the perfect situation to get you to where you want to be. It's the perfect scenario for you to self-actualize. It's the perfect scenario for you to be your best self. And just let your imagination go with that and see what comes up with you, for you. When you play with the idea that everything is happening exactly how it should and it's perfect the way it is, that doesn't mean that you can't build on what is and make it even better, but to shift the mind from thinking that if and only if it were differently, I'd be fine, and instead seeing what is, and welcoming spirit, your subconscious mind, however you communicate about what goes on here, welcoming it to fill in the blanks so that you can truly see how everything that's presented in front of you in this time is somehow perfect. Not so that you can be complacent and do nothing, but so that you can see that you have the perfect ingredients to bake whatever project or life goal that it is that you're working on. Obviously, there are some shifts that need to happen from superficial goals to higher ideal goals, but play with it a little bit, see what's happening there, and release anything that makes you think that your current circumstances are not nurturing what it is that you are working towards. Let it be a game. And I would really also see that as an offering to make sure you spend some time outside with the trees. In October, it's the most beautiful time of the year to be in the woods. So, if you don't have a car, take public transit or figure out a way to get outside. I think it's very, very important. It's going to allow you to download what it is about your current circumstances that are absolutely perfect for whatever it is that you are integrating at this time. And then finally, from the Chakra Oracle deck, we have Facade. This is really letting go of the mask that you're wearing. These masks are super, super convincing to ourselves on occasion, right? So we like to pretend sometimes to be something, this one label, this one aspect of ourselves, our job, our role as a sister or parent or partner or whatever it is. But in reality, you are a multidimensional being. You're constantly changing and shifting. There's so many different aspects of your personality, of yourself. And for you to identify as just one thing, I'm a serious yoga teacher and that is who I am, and I'm very spiritual. It limits your freedom. And for you to try to uphold yourself to fit what you think other people see you as also limits your freedom. So I think it would be very, very helpful for you over the next few weeks to release any mask that you're wearing, not the one to keep you from getting COVID, obviously. You take it off when you need to. But anything that's limiting yourself from actually fully embodying your true self, which is constantly shifting and changing. Think about it, right? Are there any ways where you are trying to be someone that you're not? Are there any ways that you are trying to convey yourself that aren't true for you? Is it helping the collective to be trying to uphold standards and beliefs that no longer serve the common good? Is it helpful to berate people into believing the same things as you? Is it helpful to be stuck in a certain way? Likely it's not. We're happier when we shift and we sway, just like the trees. If we get too brittle, we're more likely to break. If we get too hard in our ways, we're more likely to break. So just seeing if there's anything in the way that you're presenting yourself to yourself or the world that might be more of a facade than an actual truth, and allowing yourself to maybe be a little bit more fluid in how you're presenting yourself to the world. And I don't mean in your gender, and I don't necessarily mean anything in that vein, although that might also be true. But what I'm talking about more so is just be stuck in certain aspects of your personality or your identity that are actually limiting your ability to have that childlike freedom that you truly deserve to enjoy in as many moments as possible, right? And noticing how the facades that you're holding up for yourself are actually creating limitations, causing yourself pain, and putting you in a situation where you are you're having a harder time with people. So because you're putting this pressure on yourself, you're also putting pressure on other people to meet certain expectations, and that can really create a difficult energetic between you and the people you're in relationship with. As you release facades and false senses of the self, you might see difficulty with other people because maybe they're very attached to whatever facade you have been presenting. You just be willing to let it go and trust that even that is perfect. And it's important for your integration so that your healed self, your whole self that has kind of blossomed after this very intense or during this very intense shift in the world collective consciousness, trusting that as you meet these obstacles, that they are happening for that true integration, true healing, truly coming into your own, that glow up moment, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the terms are, but just really trusting that if you're really coming from the right place and you're not using a facade, the things that are being presented in the moment are happening for you. They're helping you grow. They're helping you become stronger. They're helping you become freer, happier. And it might be a process, but the more willing you are to kind of go on the journey, the easier the process will be. The more resistance you have to it and refusal to actually look at it and deal with it, the more difficult it will be, speaking from experience. I've done both. But yeah, just think about it, how you're presenting yourself if it's really true, and how you are thinking of yourself if it's really true, and not in a mean way, just in a, am I limiting myself? An example is I'm not a singer. Maybe sitting down and trying to sing and see if that's really true. Maybe there's a lot of joy that is available in singing. Or I am a yoga teacher, maybe you enjoy teaching yoga, but what else? What else is there about you? I am a mother. Yes, you're a mother, but you were someone before that. How can we integrate those aspects of yourself into this part of your journey so that maybe you can be a better mother, a happier mother, a more free mother, a more joyful mother? These are just examples, but something to think about. I hope you have a wonderful full moon time, and that the next few weeks as the moon gets smaller, you have some wonderful moments of release that feel positive, cathartic, and healing. And I'll be back on the new moon to set intentions. Have a great day, and take care.